Are Irish universities compromising academic integrity for corporate funding? Imagine this. Ryanair's CEO, Michael O'Leary, has openly dismissed sustainable aviation fuels as a mere gimmick, yet his airline has generously donated a whopping €4 million to Trinity College's Ryanair Sustainable Aviation Research Centre. This contradiction raises eyebrows and questions about the true motivations behind such funding. Back in 2016, Trinity College made a bold move by pledging to divest from fossil fuel investments. Fast forward to 2020, and they accepted a €1.7 million donation from Cement Roadstone Holdings, CRH, to establish a new professorial chair in climate science. Ironically, CRH was responsible for emitting 46.5 million tons of carbon in 2022, more than the combined emissions of the 59 countries with the lowest carbon footprints. At University College Cork, UCC, the tech giant Meta, known for Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, has sponsored an industrial chair in semiconductor technologies at the Tyndall National Institute and the School of Chemistry. These instances are not isolated. They reflect a growing trend in Irish universities, as highlighted by recent research from PublicPolicy.ie conducted by Maynooth University. The findings suggest that corporate influence in academia is on the rise, and government policies are paving the way for even more collaboration between universities and the private sector. The establishment of technological universities and the Higher Education Act of 2022 are significant factors in this shift, particularly in the fields of science and technology, which secured an astonishing 99% of all industry funding in 2022, leaving the humanities with a mere 1%. Since the 2008 financial crisis, state investment in higher education has taken a nosedive, with core public funding slashed by 50% from 2008 to 2019. A report from the Department of Further and Higher Education, Research, Innovation, and Science, DFRIS, in 2022 revealed a staggering €307 million annual funding gap. The research paper from PublicPolicy.ie, authored by experts in climate justice and geography, warns of several risks associated with industry funding in academia. They argue that such funding can undermine support for academic pursuits that lack commercial appeal, divert attention from crucial social and economic policies that prioritize human and ecological health, and threaten the integrity and independence of academic institutions in a profit-driven landscape. In an interview with the Irish Times, the researchers expressed concerns about the lack of transparency surrounding industry funding in higher education. Professor Jenny Stevens, who has experience in US academia, noted that private sector investments in universities are often strategic, aimed at enhancing profits and influencing policy. Fossil fuels, plastics, technology, and chemicals invest strategically in higher education, she explained. They're not doing it out of goodwill. They see it as a way to improve their reputation and sway policy decisions. The pressure to secure funding from alternative sources is palpable, especially given the chronic underfunding of public universities. While Stevens acknowledges that industry-funded research can yield valuable results, she cautions that it often leads to a focus on solutions that favor corporate interests, such as carbon capture technologies, rather than exploring how to phase out fossil fuels altogether. Dr. Lisa Keating, Director of Research and Innovation at the Irish Universities Association, assures that there are safeguards in place for private research funding. Rigorous due diligence processes assess ethical and strategic considerations before accepting funds, and collaborative research projects maintain academic independence through clear contractual frameworks and conflict of interest declarations. However, Keating emphasizes that industry funding should complement, not replace, government investment in research and development. While it can support national innovation goals, it cannot substitute for the foundational role of sustained government investment in research for the public good, she stated. Trinity College echoed these sentiments, asserting that their collaboration with industry aims to drive positive change. Yet, O'Mayonnaise, one of the researchers, highlights the urgent need for transparency regarding funding sources and their motivations. Currently, industrial funders can choose to keep their contributions confidential, making it challenging for researchers and the public to access vital information about funding scales. Riley, another researcher, faced difficulties in gathering comprehensive data for the study due to its fragmented nature, even within government departments. Policymakers themselves don't have an accurate picture of industry funding, she noted. With publicly funded research centers required to secure industry funding, early career academics often find themselves in precarious positions, vulnerable to corporate pressures. O'Mahony points out that younger researchers may feel compelled to accept funding offers, even from polluting industries, due to job insecurity. In response, Keating reassured that all IUA member universities transparently report their research projects, including details about commercial partners. This transparency is crucial for safeguarding academic independence and ensuring oversight in research funded by companies like CRH. However, Stevens warns that private industry funding can limit academic freedom, allowing only wealthy companies to dictate research agendas. Geothermal energy, for example, has immense potential but lacks a powerful lobby, leading to underinvestment and underrecognition, she explained. Academics may hesitate to critique their key funders, which poses long-term consequences for research integrity. In numbers, the situation is stark. Irish higher education faces a €307 million annual funding gap, with only €39 million allocated to industry-funded research in health, engineering, technology, and natural sciences in 2020, compared to a mere €200,000 for the humanities. As the landscape of higher education continues to evolve, the balance between academic integrity and corporate influence remains a pressing concern.